Good morning, friends. This topic is very relevant and it is meant for everybody. The question we often discuss and talk about under the new education policy is the well being of the students. Whether the students are in schools or colleges or any other institution, the question now, the challenge now before the institution as well as for the parent is the students' well being. That is a very compact and complex issue that need to be dealt very carefully, and all educationists, all the curriculum makers and all the educators must think over it and must implement some of the guidance that have been provided by the CBSE. Time and again, the training programs organized for the educators, particularly the in-house training session and the CBSE based programs that emphasize on inculcating inclusive program curriculum integrated well-being programs such as inclusive education, emotional learning, and support building programs. The fact that the institution must foster supportive and inclusive environment in the campus, particularly integrating mental health education and mindfulness into the curriculum. The institution must encourage social and emotional learning, building a strong staff and student connectivity, and professional support services inside the campus. Opportunities must be created by the institution to bring staff, educators and students together to work in a community and involve all the individuals together for creating a positive school culture and environment. It is very important to create a welcoming atmosphere inside the institution. Friends, the question arises, how can institution develop welcoming atmosphere inside the campus? Now, it is the duty of the principal, educators, and the parents to inculcate or ensure that the school policies and the stakeholders must work together, particularly to create inclusive, safe, and welcoming environment for students. We often comment upon the schools, management, giving undue stress on the students for project work and for activities such as creating some sort of individual task which not only isolate the students from the other students but also create undue pressure on them for overcoming these challenges. For creating a welcoming atmosphere, it is also important that the institution must create a positive classroom climate. Now the question strikes in the mind, what is a positive classroom climate? Definitely, the teachers should model empathy and kindness among the students and should encourage these students also to exhibit the same. For example, if the educators in the classroom will not be empathetic, will not be in position to understand the difficulties of the children, being in their own position, how will they analyze the challenges the students are facing? And that will adversely affect their mental health. So it is very important that the school management must provide a positive classroom climate, particularly inculcating empathy and kindness among the student and encouraging them to show the same to their classmates and to their peers. And that can be done only through reducing the anxiety. Use less stressful form of assessment. See, the thing is that written assessment has become almost cumbersome and very, you may call it is creating pressure. So written assessment must be coupled with oral assessment, particularly, or a activity based assessment, particularly organizing group assessment, that will, foster a kind of togetherness, a kind of healthy atmosphere among the students, and it will lessen the stress also. Evaluating individual copies by the educators takes time, so it's better to, allow the children to go for peer assessment. One bench student can evaluate one another and can assess one another very well. So assessing peer through peer group will be easier, and it will foster a kind of togetherness. Then mindfulness and coping skills. Some time must be dedicated for mindfulness practice, teaching students skills to manage stress and emotional effectively. Sometimes what happens, that there are emotional, what you can say, that emotional outburst among the kids. So in order to balance their emotional, well-being, we have to focus on building social skills, developing emotional intelligence, and teaching conflict resolution. If there is any kind of conflict in between the students, or in between the stakeholders, the students must come forward and resolve the conflict. That will be a healthy atmosphere for schools and colleges. Then curriculum integration. It is very important to integrate curriculum to health and to mental and physical health well-being. See, the academic syllabus doesn't only get confined to learning and knowledge. It also gives skills to cope up with the challenges of day-to-day life. The staff, the students can connect themselves better, discuss about the well-being of the children, well-being of the staff, and topics of discussions every day in the assembly must include opportunities given to the children to discuss the challenges of mental stress, physical weakness, and fatigue among the children. Often we see that the children spend more time on cell phones and internets. That results in fatigue and a kind of anxieties and stress, and that also results into sleeplessness. So these children in the assembly should address these issues along with their educators, provide opportunity for individual to express their anxieties and find out certain kind of solutions to these problems. Then community and family engagement. It is very important to form a community and family engagement. Involve the students and the staff and the families in discussion of the problems, organizing some kind of activities in schools, like common fair, or exhibition shows, or tea stalls, weekly gathering of the parents and staff, so that some sort of, games can be organized among parents and teachers to inculcate and to involve the staffs and parents in the growth of the children. Encouraging physical and community engagement. It's very important to engage the children in physical activity, some school garden, and working in a school garden, planting some trees, incorporating physical activities such as visiting some nearby area, and providing community service such as health and hygiene, discussion on health talk, or allowing the children to visit nearby areas and find out and analyze the problem of health and hygiene, and making certain kind of supportive environment to give them chance to interact with the community. That will lessen their stress and the burden of academics. Most importantly, the role of the stakeholder, particularly the parents and the educators, should not be confined to only school curriculum as a subject curriculum. Rather, it should be expanded to the well-being of the children, particularly the mental, physical, and spiritual well-being of the students. In my opinion, it is very important to go for holistic development of the child, and the holistic development of the child can be possible only when we look into the creative aspect of the child's development. Creative aspects of the child's development need to be taken into two aspects. One is hedonic development. Hedonic well-being refers to the short-term pleasure. See, organizing, a small gathering, giving the children to celebrate their birthday in group in schools will give them short-term pleasure and gratification of their mind. They will be emotionally gratified if the schools organizes birthday parties of students, not every day, but at least once a month. Suppose a child is having a birthday, let it be celebrated in schools and let the whole class be allowed to incorporate in celebration of the birthday of that child, and that will develop a kind of sense of togetherness and collaboration. So it will lessen the pressure and it will derive short-term pleasure. Then another one, eating a delicious meal. The parents must, make a choice of what kind of food their children, love to eat. So making a delicious food at some occasion, celebrating their birthdays at home, enjoying a good film, sitting together along with the children, making some kind of positive talk on the dining table will certainly give the children, gratification, emotional gratification. Meanwhile, eudaimonic well-being refers to long-term satisfaction, and that can be possible only when they have achievement in academics, they have achievements in their subject, overcoming challenges resulting from personal growth, cultivating sense of purpose, that is really meant for educating their children. So education must be, incorporated with the purpose of life. What is the real purpose of life? Why education is important for every individual? So incorporating or integrating purposeful life, growth, and cultivating a sense of purpose, that will definitely make the children mentally well-being and socially well-being, and that will result from fulfillment of their goal. So we need to both integrate the curriculum for the social, mental, and cultural well-being along with academic excellence, and for that we need to encourage the children to be inclusive in the schools and colleges, to inclusive of the activities, positive emotions, development of positive emotions, the development of a sense of meaningful and purposeful education, enjoying social time with friends and family, participating in sports, achieving team, success like playing games, tournament, enjoying leisure trip, taking part in entertainment based on activities. All these are integral part of now school curriculum. So the educators and the institution must pay due attention to these activities so that there will be a holistic development of the individuals, and the children will not feel isolated, they will not be unhealthy, they will be socially and emotionally strong, and they will be culturally, rich. Then only education will be meaningful for the society, for the country, for the nation, and for the individual. Thank you, have a nice day. This is Eddie Singh on the channel Easy English by Eddie Singh. Thanks.